Hey there, today I'm going to teach how to find the lowest common multiple for a set of numbers. So when you see lowest common multiple, you should think denominator. And one way you can remember that is denominator in a fraction is always down. So this would be the denominator. It's the one on bottom, and the numerator is one on top for north. North, numerator, denominator, down. And when you see the word low, low means down, so think denominator. So to find the lowest common multiple for 2 and 7, think of these if these were the denominators in a fraction. So if I had a fraction like 1/2 plus 3/7, I have to find the lowest common multiple that they both can go into. So what's the denominator they both can go into? And it's always going to be at least this number. It will never be smaller than the biggest number. So I'm going to start doing multiples of 7. So 7 times 1 is 7. But I know if this was 7 and this was 7, 2 wouldn't go into it, so it can't be 7. So then I'll do what's 7 times 2? It's 14. So if I did 14, let's see if that works. Can 7 go into 14? Yes, 2 times. So then, if I multiply that by 2, I'd multiply this by 2, so 3 times 2 is 6. That works. Can 2 go into 14? Yes, 7 times. So 2 times 7 is 14. So 1 times 7 is 7, and then you could add the fraction together and you would get 13/14. So the lowest common multiple is 14. It's the denominator. I'll do it again with this one. They want to find the lowest common multiple of this set of numbers. So hopefully you can see right away it's 12, because you're thinking if this was the denominator, which one can they all go into? But I'll show it. So if I had a fraction like 2/3, 2/4, and 5/12, I want to find what's the denominator they all can go into. And again, it's always going to be at least the biggest number. So we're going to start with 12 times 1. Does that work? If I made these all 12s, would it work? So 12 times 1 is 12, so 5 times 1 is 5. 4 times 3 is 12, that works. So 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. That works. So 2 times 4 is 8. And then you could add them together. And 14, 15, 16. So we get 21. So 21/12. That becomes 1. And you can do the math. What's 21? Take away 12. 9. And that reduces to 1 and 3/4. But anyways, so the lowest common multiple would be 12. Hopefully I did my math there. I was doing it really quick in my head, and I'm recording. I'm going to show you, if you want to stop now, Charlie, because I know you're watching this for me, and start working on your math sprints. So basically you're just looking for what is the number they all can go into, the lowest common multiple. So you have 4, 7, and 28. If this was denominators, it's going to be at least 28. So can 4 go into 28? Yeah, 7 times, right? Can 7 go into 28? Yeah, 4 times. And 28 goes into 28, so this would be 28. Okay, again, it's going to be at least 12 for this one. So think 12, does 3 go into 12? Yes, but 8 does not, so 12 won't work. So then try 12 times 2. Well, that's 24. Does 8 go into 24? Yes. Does 3 go into 24? Yes. So the lowest common multiple would be 24. All right, here's the harder way if you could come up with for those that want to be challenged. If I want to find the lowest common multiple of something like 72 and 108. What you're going to do is you're going to first find the prime factorization for these numbers. So I'm going to break them down, and what I taught my class is whenever you think of prime factorization, that's prime factorization, you're going to think of pine forest, and that's what's in a pine forest? It's trees. So you're going to use the tree method. We call this the tree method. So prime factorization, pine forest, and there's trees. So I'm going to break down 72. I get 8 and 9. Now 8 will break down, you could either do triple 2s, if some of you already memorized that, or you would go 4 and 2, that's done. And that's 2 and 2, that's done. Prime factorization of 9 is 3 and 3, those are done. So the prime factorization of 72 is, put them in order, we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. That's the prime factorization of 72. Prime factorization of 108, well, I know that can be 9 and 12. And then 9 breaks down to 3 and 3. That's done. Circle it. 12 breaks down to 3 and 4. 3 is done, can't break down anymore. 4 breaks down to 2 and 2. So put this in order. We have 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, so the prime factorization of both of these are here, and we're going to have a friendly bank where we include everybody. Lowest common multiples, they are very friendly. They like people. They like everyone to come to the party. So here's the party. Yay! Okay, so you're going to make sure that you include everyone in that can go to the party. So here we have 3 2s, and here you have 2 2s. So one way you can do it is like whatever one has the most 2s, that's how many go into the bank. So there's 3 here, there's 2 here, so there's 3 more over here, so you're going to put 3 in the bank. But here's another way to think about it. These 2s are going to go together to the party, so let's put them in. These 2s are going to go together to the party, so we're going to put them in. But this little 2 is all alone and he has no date, so they say, you know what, you can come to the party with us, so this 2 goes in as well. Okay, now let's do our 3s. So these 3s are going to go to the party together, in they go. This 3 goes to the date with that 3, they go into the party. But then we have this little 3 left alone, and they say, come on with us, we're super friendly, come to the party with us. So now you multiply this out, and that would be your lowest common multiple. So let's do 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, so we have 8 times, 3 times 3 is 9, 9 times 3 is 27, so your lowest common multiple is 27 times 8, which is 56, 16, so 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 21. So 216 is your lowest common multiple. And you won't have like any of that, Charlie, on your math sprints, but if anyone's watching this on YouTube and they want to see another example, I'll do one more. It is a little challenging to do it this hard way. Okay, let's see. Let's say they want the lowest common multiple of numbers 16 and 56. So the first thing we're going to do is find the prime factorization. And when you hear the words prime factorization, you could think pine forest. And what is in a pine forest? Trees. So we're going to do the tree method for both of these. So I break this down to 4 and 4. That can still break down to 2 times 2. Those are done. This breaks down to 2 and 2. That's done. Okay, let's break down 56. Breaks down to 7 and 8. 7 is done. Can't break down anymore. Let's break down 8 now. You could do triple. In my math class, they've learned that 8 breaks down to 2 times 2 times 2, because this would be 4 times 2, and then 4 breaks down to 2 and 2. Okay, so let's put all these in order. So the prime factorization of 16 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. The prime factorization of 56 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. All right, we have our friendly bank. Now remember, the first way you could do it is you look at the set of numbers. So we have 4 2s and we have 3 2s. There's more 4 2s here, so you're going to put in 4 2s. If you want to think of it the party way, do it this way. So this 2 is going to go to the party with that 2. This 2 is going to go to the party with that 2, so put them in. This 2 will go with that 2, put them in to the party. And then this 2 is all alone, and they say, hey, come with us. You can be our what do they call it, a third wheel, or go to the date with us. So that 2 goes in as well. And then we only have 1 7 over here. He doesn't have anyone to go to the prom with, or the party with, so he's going to come along too. Okay, so now we have 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16. So 16 times 7 will be the lowest common multiple. Let's check it out. 16 times 7 is 42, and 7 times 1 is 7, plus 4. So some of you don't, I do touch math, so here's how you do touch math. 7 times 1 is 7, and there's 4 little dots here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I always like to double check myself by using touch points. That's a whole another video. Okay, so now the lowest common multiple of 16 and 56 is 112. So, and you're like, why would I even want to know this? That's only because, think, if you were adding the fractions that had like 5/16 and then you had to add to it like 2056, you have to come up with a lowest common multiple, and this is how you find that lowest common multiple. So it should be 112. Let's check. Switch them both over to 112. So does 56 go into 112? Yes, it does. 2 times, because 56 times 2, well, 50 times 2 is 100, 6 times 2 is 12, so it's 112. So they both go in. I'm going to put them in by 2. So 56 times 2 is 112, so 20 times 2 is 40. Now how many times does 16 go into 112? Let me get my calculator out. It should work, because we just figured this out. So I'm going to go 112 divided by 16. It's 7. It did work. So the lowest common multiple is 112 here, so that works. So now 16 times 7 is 112, so 5 times 7 is 35. And then you could add them together, so you would get 75 112s, and then you could reduce it. Okay, that's the lowest common multiple.